Hi everyone, so the 30-minute timer went off, so I'm going to show you what the bread looks like when I take the lid off. So I'm going to put my oven mitts on. Okay, here's the Dutch oven. And look at that. Looks beautiful, even got a little bit of that ear. It did split down some of the wheat stalks I made, but we'll look at that later. So this is just the first half hour at 450. Now I'm gonna turn the temp down to 400 for 15 more minutes. So now we'll take the lid off the one that's the bread loaf, and I just have to lift this up and look at that one. Also beautiful. I'm always relieved when I take the lid off and they turned out so nice. Not as much of an ear, but a little bit of an ear here. And you know, not as many blisters as I had hoped, but not a lot of nice rise and oven spring. So that means our starter was working and we bulk fermented correctly. So now I'm going to put this one back in for the last 15 minutes. I always have to remember, turn the oven down to 400. Alexa, set timer 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
And then I'm just going to pause this. Okay, I'm back. Let me just see if the timer's going. Yep. The last timer just went off, so the bread should be done. So I'm going to grab the Dutch oven bread first, and we'll take a look at that. Grab it out of here, set it on the cooling rack, and then I can get this hot Dutch oven out of here. I'm going to turn the oven off. So let's take a look at what this looks like. It looks like it got great rise. Ooh, I see quite a few blisters. Quite a few blisters on the outside of the crust. There is the contrast between the rice flour and the bread crust, so I'm really pleased with how that turned out. Just slide that one over. Good. I won't know about the crust inside until I can cut it open. And I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm going to let this cool all night. You're supposed to let it cool for at least 2 hours before you cut it open. So I'll just let it cool until tomorrow morning, and then we'll cut it open then. Here's the one in the loaf pan. Like I'm happy with how that one turned out too. Set that there and get this out of the way. And then we can take a better look at this one. Peel this back a little. Ooh, it got nice and brown on the side. Like I said earlier, the ear didn't get very big, and I honestly think it's because it barely fits in that loaf pan. It kind of holds it together, so where I make that score, it almost grows back together a little bit. Now, this is the wheat stalk side. Also looks really pretty. You can see the wheat stalks on the side. This is the one where I put the ice cubes in, and I do see some blisters on the outside. Not as many as I thought. I always have to peek at the bottom. They're so hot right now, but I always want to make sure they didn't burn. Nope, that one's not burnt on the bottom. That one looks great. Then look at the bottom of this one. Well, a little bit darker on the bottom there, but nothing that will taste burnt, so it'll be nice and crispy and crunchy. So there we go. That's start to finish. And tomorrow we'll slice them open because my family will want to eat some, and then we'll take a look at the crumb inside.